Today, on The Average Bartender, we're making the whiskey sour. Let's get into it. So, back in the 17 and 1800s, sailors needed something to drink. They didn't have enough access to clean drinking water, and beer would spoil over the long months away. Scurvy is a real disease, and it's not just something you hear in the pirate movies. It's caused by lack of vitamin C, and back in these times, it was one of the leading causes of death among these sailors. Eventually, they discovered that eating citrus, such as lemon and limes, was a good way to combat this disease. Then they started adding the lemons and the limes to the liquors that they had, the rums, the whiskeys, the gins, and that was their way to prevent scurvy. Eventually, the sailors brought this recipe back to the shore, where it gained enough popularity to be included in Jerry Thomas's The Bartender's Guide in 1862. And there began the whiskey sour. The original recipe calls for 3 simple ingredients: whiskey, lemon juice, and powdered sugar. Nowadays, there's basically 3 ways to make a whiskey sour. The first way is the way that you would get at your cousin's wedding, which is basically just sour mix and usually a bottom shelf whiskey. Gets the job done, but it's not the best. The second way is the original recipe, the way the sailors would make it. 2 ounces of whiskey, typically a bourbon or rye, 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice, and 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. The third option is the way we're gonna make it right now. First, we need to pick our whiskey. Now you can use any whiskey that you have at home, whether that be an Irish whiskey, a Scotch, a bourbon, or a rye. Today we're gonna go with a bourbon, and we're gonna use Woodford Reserve. Now that we know what whiskey we're going to use, we're going to want to grab our lemons. Now it's important to use fresh lemons and not that bottled lemon juice that you can buy at the store. While we're in here, we're also going to want to grab an egg. We're going to use this as well. Next, we need simple syrup. Now this is easy. This is just 1 part sugar mixed with 1 part water. Or you can save the mess and just get this bottle at the grocery or liquor store. Now that we have all of our ingredients, the whiskey, the lemon juice, simple syrup, and the egg, we're gonna make our whiskey sour. This drink starts off with 2 ounces of our bourbon. And again, today we're using Woodford Reserve. Next, we're doing 3/4 ounce of our simple syrup, followed by 3/4 ounce of our fresh lemon juice. Finally, we have the egg white. Now make sure you break this off and you add the egg white to the empty side of the shaker, so that you don't break off any egg yolk or the egg shell into the shaker. Once you have everything in your shaker, you can do a dry shake, which just means no ice. And the reason we do this is just because of the egg white. It needs to break up the protein before we put the ice in it. Alright, now we're gonna add the ice and shake it up again. Now that we've shaken it up, we're gonna grab our glass, put an ice cube in that glass, and we're gonna strain this drink over the ice so we get that nice froth at the top. And finally, the garnish. Today we're gonna use a Luxardo cherry, and we're gonna place that right on top. And there you have it, the beautiful, the simple, the classic whiskey sour. If you like this video, do me a huge favor and subscribe down below. Also, comment what cocktail you want me to make next, and we'll make it happen. See you next time.